Cptsd vlog, March 9th, 2025. I feel a lot better. I'm serious. It's all thanks to the keto diet, and that's amazing. I feel actually better. I've been noticing improvements. Like, it feels like my life has been given back to me, and I thank God for it. I thank God for it because He really helped me with this. Like, I was praying for a long time for help with depression, anxiety, Cptsd, healing from Cptsd. And I just came across the keto diet. I came across it on my YouTube recommendeds. Actually, it popped up from the Lauren Kennedy West video. And basically, I was like at the end of my rope. Like, I was in survival mode. Like, I just had to try something. And it seemed promising, so I was like, I'm gonna try it. And it was a pain in the ass to try, but I've been on it for like a week, and I've noticed huge improvement. Like, huge improvement. So my mood is better. It's still not perfect, but it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Today, when I was running, there was someone who was passive aggressive, jogging the opposite direction, and they said, someone's on the wrong side of the road, and it took me like a little while to figure out that they were trying to say you're supposed to jog on the opposite side of the road. I just find Canadians are passive aggressive like that, but anyway, so I still got irritated by that. But anxiety has decreased for me, and it decreased in the area where I really wanted it to decrease, which was talking to people. So basically, social anxiety decreased because I would have so much trouble talking to people. But now it's like this morning, I think I talked to, I think it was today, I talked to 2 different people, and it was like not really a big deal. Like, it's a kind of a big deal for me, but like, how do I put it? It was not a big deal to just do it, but like, kind of comparing it to how it used to be, and then like how hard it used to be to now, it feels so much better. Like, it feels so much better. Because basically, I saw 2 people who I sort of like barely knew, like, I don't even know if you would call it acquaintance, maybe acquaintances, like people I had met once or twice before, in the town, and it was like quick conversation, super easy. Like, I didn't even feel that like nervous or anxious, and I just kept going and doing what I was gonna go do. And like, a lot of times before, I would just like dread interaction, and this time it's like it was just part of the day. Like, that's the difference. Like, the difference is so huge, it's hard to describe almost, but I've lived it, and so that's how I kind of know how bad it can actually be. Having social anxiety, like crippling, like, I know it gets made fun of, like crippling anxiety or crippling depression. It has been made fun of a lot, but when you actually are experiencing it, it's not funny. Like, if you're experiencing it for years, it's seriously, it's closer to hell than anything, than a joke. It's like really bad, really, really bad. But it wasn't that bad today, and um, I've been noticing that a lot with the keto diet. And also, oh yeah, for me, talking to people, like I can get really like upset or agitated or um like just socially anxious, like feeling like I'm gonna burst into tears, feeling like my heart's gonna jump out of my chest, feeling um like something's gonna go wrong, everyone's gonna be mad at me, everyone's gonna start looking at me. It's like that's the kind of social anxiety, like, or anxiety when an argument or like any kind of conversation where there's a disagreement happens. That's kind of the social anxiety that I have experienced. And I did not even have that this morning when after church I was basically just talking to someone, and I was having like a much more normal, fluid conversation. At least that's how it felt. And um, then Trump got brought up, and I said I like Trump, and everybody in this town, like, I swear, like mostly everybody, really doesn't like Trump. Like all the old people especially don't like Trump, and they're super against Trump, and they get mad or angry or whatever. And like a lot of people will like snicker, like, you like Trump, like that's how it is. Like I'm like that's actually how it is. And but I was just like saying what I believe and defending what I believe. Like I said, I think he's doing a good job. Like I think he's doing good for America, and I think that the waste, fraud, and abuse Doge catching waste, fraud, and abuse is going really good too. And like this old man's head was like, he was like basically almost gonna explode. Like, but I just kept saying like, yeah, I think he's doing a good job, and I hope he ends the war in Ukraine, like that we can get peace. And the old man was like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but he was like upset for sure. But I don't like take pleasure in that he was upset. I just saying like, uh, personally, I think it's fine to have disagreements. Like I think that's okay. And but yeah, I was able to have that conversation, um, and the conversation actually, it wasn't like mean or disrespectful or anything, and yeah, I think we just disagree. That's all. So, anyways, but my point is, I don't know if I would have been able to have that kind of a conversation if it wasn't for the keto diet, as strange as maybe it sounds, because like just my like ability to, I don't know, be myself, kind of like, yeah, I guess be myself is sort of like returning in a way. And um like I'm not 100% cured, but I'm at least like, it's like my life has come back a little bit, and quite a bit actually, compared to before. It was like so bad. And um ugh, depression is so bad. If you like feel depressed, it's so bad. Like, yeah, I don't wish it on anyone. And hmm oh yeah, so, and I also went on a run today, and I actually felt like good, like except for that part where the guy was like kind of passive aggressive about saying run on the other side of the road, except for that part. But I actually like felt good, and like I felt good about like the environment I was in. Like I could actually appreciate it because I actually do live in a town where there's like it's like really beautiful environment in the mountains, like in a valley. But like it was really hard for me to appreciate and like enjoy the surrounding world, you know? Like my mind wouldn't like really allow it before. But now it's like I kind of like just appreciated seeing the beauty of the mountains and like that it's spring right now and like that the nature's so magnificent. So I appreciate it. And then also another thing I'm noticing is that I'm like able to, I think I'm saying like a lot. It's just a habit that's coming out. Um, I'm able to focus more, and so right now I'm very interested in the keto diet, and actually I'm able to think about my life more, which is helpful because I'm like I'm concerned about my life and concerned about what I'm gonna do with my life and um, where I'm gonna work, and I'm still concerned about like a girlfriend and like potentially having a family. But first, I'm concerned about like my career, and but it's like I'm able to actually kind of like think about these issues rather than them just be huge um, clouds, like dark clouds. And so I'm able to like think, so I'm looking into grad schools if that's a possible option, but I'm also looking into like the keto diet, like what's the research there, like can I maybe some way get involved in uh, the research or go to somehow some way contribute, because basically I'm thinking about like how could I contribute, because I noticed that this diet is really helping for me, and I look in the research and the results are amazing. The results are really amazing, especially for severe mental illnesses like schizophrenia, bipolar, um, major depression, autism. There's even some results for autism too. Um, that it's really it's able to help it, and even diabetes, like type 2 diabetes, is supposed to be able to reverse that. I think I'd have to check more fully, but I saw that as an article headline or a research article headline. And so I'm thinking like how could I be involved, because this is a good thing. This is really a good thing. I know there's that old quote, I think Hippocrates maybe said, let thy food be thy medicine. Or maybe it was him, but maybe it was someone else, but food is thy medicine. And it's really true because our food has such an effect on us. And right now I'm thinking a lot about sugar, and I'm thinking a lot about like flour, like white flour, like and all the things in our food that really make us sick in processed foods and foods with a lot of additives and junk food and fast food, the high sugar, high processed, high additives, all that stuff, a lot of flour, a lot of carbs, can make people feel sick. Like it can, over time, it can really make people sick. And it's hard because it tastes good, okay, and then it um you don't feel like you feel kind of good in really soon, like you eat it and you actually feel good as you're eating it because of all they add in it to make it addictive. So now I'm thinking about like career, could I do something around either research of the keto diet or nutrition for mental health, or could I don't know if I could do a dietitian course or something because I haven't done an undergrad in nutrition or biology. But I'm seeing like maybe I could do graduate studies in um, computational neuroscience, psychology masters in with an interdisciplinary study in computational neuroscience. Maybe I could do that. But I don't know. I'm just really amazed by how much I've improved a lot recently, and I'm just hoping to think about my career too. Um, but yeah, so that's me. That's what's going on. My sleep is still not that great. Um, for some reason, my sleep is like I've been tossing and turning a lot, and waking up in the night. And I don't know if I'm going into as deep sleep uh, as would be necessary, but I am having dreams, so that means I am getting some REM sleep at points. But I still struggle with lust for sure, and I'm still trying to, although not nearly as bad as I used to, but I still do, and I'm trying to still get off of my medications, my antipsychotic medications, which I'm on a low dose of 2 of them. But yeah, I think that will take time because there's withdrawals that happen if you go off of them too quickly. So I'm just gonna still stay on the keto diet and eventually try and taper off of the rest of those. But yeah, I feel a lot better, a lot more stable. Like my mood and my energy are a lot more stable. A lot more stable. And that's huge for me. Just like having a stable mood for me is so much of a change. It's so much of a change. I almost wonder, like, I felt like I never got a proper diagnosis. Well, maybe, but I don't know if I was ever really tested for like bipolar or schizophrenia. I've been told I don't have schizophrenia by a doctor, but I felt like I might have had some of the negative symptoms of schizophrenia, um, but I'm not sure. And the bipolar, I'm thinking maybe I had that because of just the up and down in mood, but I'm not even sure because that could be connected to glucose spikes. I'm not sure really, but my mood is so much more stable now. Um, and then I did get a diagnosis by a psychiatrist of depression with psychosis. So, I mean, that one's kind of scary to think about and talk about, but um, I probably did or have at some point had psychosis. It's like a loss of touch with reality. And I don't know, I feel like I did have delusions. Like, just like salvation delusions, kind of like, how could I fix my entire life type of stuff. And just feeling so horrible, especially with like Cptsd and toxic shame. just feeling so horrible. And yeah, so I do feel like I've improved. I also still feel like there's improvement that I could make. Like, um, I feel like I've done like a quite a bit of work on like trauma, but I do think that I could still do more work because the therapist that I'm seeing, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with them. I'm trying to find a therapist who's like a transitional or insecure attachment because I really feel like I don't know, I kind of have attachment difficulties. Um, so I'd like to have a therapist I could work through attachment difficulties with. Um, to hopefully like work toward a transitional or insecure attachment, to work toward earn secure attachment with like a partner or with friends. And I still have like I still have like traumatic things that happened that I kind of want to work through, like ACEs, adverse childhood events. It just feels like I've never really got a chance to work through that pain of some of those. And a lot of times the therapists I've been seeing, they haven't really seemed to be willing to go there. Like, I don't know. So, um, I don't know if there's like a good technique for that or what, but I'd like to at least find a therapist who'd be able to. So I'm still kind of like looking in a way. I do have like one therapist right now, but I don't think I'd stick with them. They were late to the appointment by like almost 10 minutes. Well, 8 minutes and almost 10 minutes the other time too. And we've only had like 3 appointments. And although they are kind of good in a way, they do talk a lot, and it feels like I don't really get a chance to like get into the deeper topics that I'm just trying to get into, like, and I don't know. So I'm still kind of looking. And then the other one, because I interviewed a few, one of the other ones was like, I don't like when they make you fill out an intake form and then they ask you, what do you need help with? Like, I put it on the intake form. Why did you ask for the intake form? Is this a kind of like a trigger point for me, and I think for a lot of people with mental health issues that they're trying to get help for, is especially if they've seen more than one person, like multiple people, is that it's kind of grueling to recount your and re-trigger yourself and recount like how, the trauma stories or like what happened to you, or like give a summary again and again and again and again, because it's painful, it's hard, it's actually kind of hard to do that. um and it can be irritating, it can be frustrating. I know I get frustrated, I get irritated, because it's like, aren't you hearing me? Like, this is your job. Like, um sometimes you feel stupid, sometimes you feel like ashamed, like saying um these things, and it's like, why ask? Like, I'm telling you, I'm doing like it feels like I'm doing so much work, and I'm telling you, and you're not really hearing what I'm telling you. Do I have to get mad at you? Do I have to like shout it? Do I have to repeat it 10 times? Do I have to um like have an outburst, like, and then if I do all those things, you're just going to think something else or say something else. It's like, come on. How can I put this so that you'll hear it? But anyways, that's kind of like one thing about trying to find a therapist. And Anyway, I'm hopeful that I can still find one. Um, and yeah, so feeling quite a bit better um, with how keto's going, and it makes me feel hopeful. It makes me feel good because I'm able to like do more stuff. You know, RFK Jr., when he became the health secretary um, for in the Trump administration, he said that a healthy person has 1,000 dreams. A sick person only has one. And it's so true. So true. When you're sick, you just want to feel better. You just want to get well, you know. Um, so now I'm really happy to be feeling a little bit better, you know, quite a bit better. So I'm just gonna keep on with the diet. It's only been like 1 week. It's only been like not that long. I'm still using the keto monitor to measure my ketones. They're actually not super high, so I think I need to really keep adjusting my food levels, like my macronutrient levels, like fat. Probably have to have more fat, um, and still keep the carbs low. And I'm aiming for like 1.5 ketones, but I'm still learning a lot. But also I'm going on how you feel. Like if I feel good on like a certain ketone level, then I'll have more of a reference point. There's Mr. Cat. Anyways, um, it's time to go to bed. Okay, bye bye.